Hey guys, I'm MeeMee and I do Allsorts, and today we have a, well, I was supposed to be doing the Scrawlrbox, but he seems to have been shy. Hold on one minute. Come on, it's okay. No one's upset. It's okay, come on. That's it. Just a little bit more. And that's a good box. Yeah, and when Scrawlrbox is a little bit upset and it came very late in this month. This is the January's box and I only got it today, which is the 1st of February. And the reason this is because here in the UK we've been going through this delightful little thing called Brexit, which has been going on for like the past million years. You know, I don't know much about it, and just know that we're leaving the EU, and there's like a million and one different complications with it. And I also know that it's affected me greatly because I'm facing far more custom charges than I have done before all of this happened. And last month, should have said, the new laws came into effect and had a major effect and disruption on, you know, the imports and exports. And Scrawlrbox very kindly told us, and you know, it will be out a bit later than usual, you know, because of the changes. And you know, they were very nice about it, and you know, they were just waiting for an item coming from overseas, and well, here we are. So with that on the way, we can finally get into a January Scrawlrbox. So let's see what we get inside. Ooh, cool. So I'll move the supplies out of the way, and here we have our scroll. If you see my videos, you'll know by now that this sends information about the products and the artist, what Scrawlrbox does, and other useful hints and tips. So I'm going to have a look at that in a minute, but I have to point out that I really do love this. It's almost kind of like a Zentangle, or the first thing that I thought of was muscle tissue, of all things. But I really do love the colours. Ooh. Oh cool, it's like a mandala effect. Oh, what is it, a paisley print? I'm learning an awful lot of stuff. Right, and this one's artist is a Chris Lambert. And there's his information if you would like to have a ganders. And I really do like that, and it's like very limited and muted as well. Which brings us to this thing, which looks like a book of some sort. And it's like a very muted greeny grey colour. And it's gone to a few pages in. Ooh, wow, that's thick. Ooh, I like that. Ah, there's my favourite brand, Clairefontaine. They do really amazing paper. I've gone quite a few bits from them and I love it. And so next up we are going to have a look at the supplies. And this month we get, ooh, oh wow. And so that's the instruction list. Ooh, oh cool, we actually get 2 sweets. And so first up we have this Zing Memory System Millennium 03. That one was extremely useful. I'm guessing it's a fine liner. And yep, it's got a very fine tip to it. And it's in pure black. Next up we have Tombow ABT Pro. They're alcohol based and they come in 3 colours. So we've got a crappy sage colour. We've got a muted blue. And we've got grey. And they're alcohol based as well, so they'll be able to blend in really nicely with one another. So on one end we've got brush tape, and on the other a chisel. And last but not least, we have a Blackwing pencil in, and they've teamed up with Scrawlrbox to produce us with this absolutely gorgeous teal pencil. Now, Blackwing, I've heard, are a really good pencil brand, and I've always wanted to own one. I have seen a video, and I now can't remember what was so special about it, but I've always wanted a Blackwing pencil. And this one is, I'd say, a special design. It's a design I've never seen before on any pencil whatsoever. And it's basically like a tip and soft end with a flat eraser on it, which is the same colour as the pencil, which is a really nice touch. Oh, so I cannot wait to try this out. I just love the colour and, you know, and love the design on it. Now, I've just noticed something. There is no sticker, which I'm really upset about because I love the stickers. The only sticker I've gotten is the one that I opened it with. So now is the fun part. We're getting to try out our supplies. Now, apparently this is an M5 comic book, and it contains 12 sheets of premium, acid-free, exceptionally smooth and high-quality paper, offering a delightful, luxurious writing, colouring and sketching experience. You can use both sides of these paper machines and they will not bleed through, making the sketchbook the perfect pairing with alcohol-based markers. Fill it with doodles. Ooh, I've also just read as well that this eraser is also removable. Somehow. Don't know how on earth you can do it. I think you can pull on these tabs or something. But I don't really like using erasers and pencils. I like to preserve them. So I've gotten this Faber-Castell eraser, which I did get in the Scrawlrbox about 2 years ago, and so technically not cheating. So now we're going to give everything a swatch, and this pencil was very easy to sharpen. Ooh, that is smooth. I don't know whether that's the paper on the pencil. My handwriting is never usually this awful. So instead I've got the camera right in front of me, so it's a bit like... and to tell you what, that is really beautiful. I know a pencil's a pencil, but... and then it's the fine liner. It feels really weird doing this on smooth paper. I'm not used to using smooth paper. But to have used fine liners, and it feels like a fine liner. It draws like a fine liner, ergo a fine liner. Now I'm going to test out these beauts. Ooh, wow. Now I really hate this colour green, but using these they're really nice. It's like got a sponge tip, I believe, and it feels really firm, and you can get really thin lines as well. I'm not really big fan of the chisel tip, but I do love the brushes. Right, so then it's everything. These are really nice to use. You know, I love the line variations that you can get. The tips are a bit squishy, but you can still get really fine lines. I'm not sure about the colour selection, but this is just me, and I'm not really a big fan of muted colours, and I've also just realised as well that they almost match through my nail polishes. Well, that was very unexpected. And now, since these are alcohol based, I'm going to try and blend them in and see what I can get. You do get a little bit into streakiness if you go a bit too fast, but the only one that I could actually get to blend was the blue and green, which is a bit of a shame really. I don't think that this paper is actually meant to make blending, you know, easier. But we're now going to see the other side and see if it's bled through. And it hasn't. You can't see, but this is where I've actually got the marker. I can barely even make it out in this paper, which is fantastic. I've never seen paper like this before. I mean, there's not even any ghosting, you really cannot tell. Oh, that is insane. And there's not even that much feathering going on either, which is super cool. Right, now I'm going to try on this fine liner and send a chance to dry a bit. So, just going to see if it smudges. And it has. And I think it's still bleeding outwards, so I don't think it's waterproof. On the instruction list it does say that it is waterproof, but yeah, I don't think so. So I don't know when then I should leave it for a bit, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll do a test later. You know, I'll do another scribble now and then I'll leave it until tomorrow and give me some time to think about the Scrawler challenge, and then I'll test it then. Usually when I do use a fine liner, and try and leave in for like 24 hours, you know, and just to give it plenty of time before I try it. And now brings us on to the next and fun part, which is the Scrawler challenge. And this month is Paisley patterns, so I was right with Paisley. So I am going to have a think about that. I don't think I've done anything based on patterns alone. It's always something, you know, animal, person, you know, but I've never done patterns. So this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to have a think about this and I will get back to you later. Okay, that was like the most bizarrest thing that's ever happened. My camera's got a full battery and it just randomly turned itself off. Thankfully it's right in front of me so I could actually see it on the screen. But that was really random. But anyway, so what I did is that I just quickly sketched down the basic shape of the peacock, and then I just went whole ham with the design. I didn't think about it and just knew I wanted to paisley there, paisley somewhere in the body, and then I just went whole ham on random designs, and honestly I just love the way how it came out. No planning went into it, and no planning's gone into where I'm going to lay the colour. So once I'd done the peacock and I hadn't major white spaces everywhere, I didn't want to fill up too much, so I'd done a couple of design elements just to fill it up a bit. So I'm going to have to be a little bit selective with the colours. I also have to remember that I can use the white pages as well, you know, just to break it up, and yeah, so we'll see how it goes. And so far this pen is just bleeding everywhere. Tell you one thing, these pens have really great coverage. I mean, there's like no streaking whatsoever. Although it does feather around an awful lot across the page. And by the way, if you see my head dipping in quite into it, I am very sorry. I have to really get in close because these are very small details. Okay, right, I have no idea what anything's going on there, but apparently I haven't been recording. Well, I mean, it's not from what I could tell anyone, so I don't know what you've missed until I've started editing. So I'm sorry, Swollen, from not talking much. I really don't like talking and drawing at the same time, because I'm getting too lost in it. And I'm not really much of a voiceover person post-editing. It's by the time I'm finished finalising everything I wanted to say, I've just given up on the video. I just think then the Great British weather delivers, and so does my light bulb. Because my light bulb went this morning, and I'm pretty damn sure that the new light bulb is darker than the other one. And of course, it's been raining for the past 3 days, so my lighting isn't that great at the moment. So I've got my ring lights on and it's annoying me already. But what you gonna do? Alright, and here we are, the final piece. Now I have to say I've had so much fun doing this. I mean, even though then it's sort of like meant to be like a messy doodle kind of thing, it still is. You know, and I had no colour scheme going through and just knew that I wanted as much green and blue as possible on the peacock. As you've seen, I started with the face and just built up the colour around it. And you know what, I actually think it really worked. I've learned a lot already from understanding what the paisley pattern is and its origins. You know, just randomly doodling, it was just so much fun. I mean, there's then quite a bit of Zentangling there, which was my first initial thought when I started just randomly doodling things. And it was just so nice to be able to put my own spin on things as well. Like I've done some of the leaf designs, you know, I've never really seen them done before. And I love the limited colours, which I think really did help with the planning. You know, I love challenges like this, limited colours, limited supplies, and so you just got to work with what you got, and it actually does work when, you know, and it just comes out so unexpected. The paper in itself holds up absolutely beautifully. I haven't checked the other side yet to see if it really is bleed proof, so we'll give them a check right now. And wow, there is literally nothing there. Even though then I've got my ring light on, I literally cannot see anything whatsoever. And I would actually really recommend this paper. You know, I really would recommend this paper and just to give it a try, because honestly it's thick. As you've seen, it's completely bleed proof, and it was just an absolute dream to work on. I mean, I didn't have any problems with going over certain places more than once and the paper, you know, ripping up like it normally would. There wasn't much smudging going on. A little bit of feathering, but that's to be expected. But not enough for it to just, you know, bleed all over the page. So if you want to give this paper a go, this is it. Claire Fontaine A5 comic book. And honestly, it really does do what it says on the tin. Don't normally do marker work, but honestly I really would love to do more with this paper. You know, and really push it to the limits, because yeah, I just cannot get over how much I really do love this. As in, the pencil in itself was an absolute dream to work with, even though that is an equivalent to in 3B. To me, a pencil's a pencil, and this is just a very old pencil making company. You know, with the unique addition of a removable eraser. Honestly guys, just give it a go. I really did thoroughly enjoy it, you know, just getting lost into it once I got in. It was, you know, it was just a really great way of letting loose and seeing where my pen would take me next, because honestly even I didn't know, and I enjoyed the journey. So I'm just going to stop rambling now. So if you guys would love to have your own Scrawlrbox, I will leave the link in the description box below. And by the way, I forgot to mention that I'm not sponsored, not affiliated. I am a huge fan, because I can non-stop giving praise to, you know, what I've done and what the team have done. So in then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.